Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 80, a big milestone episode in my long-running Anno 1800 Let's Play, also now in conjunction with the Seasons of Silver sort of scenario side Let's Play that we've got going on as well, so we're annoed out of our minds here. In the last episode, we had just checked out the recently released Seeds of Change DLC and spent much of the episode learning and utilizing its different mechanics. We built several haciendas, increased our coffee output, and really did everything that we could kind of do to touch on every sort of mechanic that comes with the DLC. Today, though, we're going to be focusing a little bit more on growing the population to actually reach 100,000 globally, which we did a long time ago, but today we're going to try and actually lay the foundations to actually sustain that 100,000. So, before we get into it, I've been having a look around with the DLC a little bit more, and I was actually going to do a bit of a time-lapse, rebuilding this town, trying to make it look really nice in preparation for this video, but I ended up scrapping all of that for basically the reason that after I built hacienda households pretty much all the way out here, and new obrero households as well, I realized that it's just not very efficient. I think other people probably know this by now, but it's kind of only just dawned on me that when we build these houses, they are slightly, they're large, they're stuttering, I don't know where to begin. Basically, they're normally 3x3, right? But these ones are actually 4x4. So for the extra 2 tiles, you get twice the population. So it's slightly better, right? But the thing I never really considered is that you have to make hot sauce and you have to make schnapps. And then also for the obrero households, you have to make adelaide. People told me this is called atelier, I think. I'll call it adelaide. That's just the best way I can say it. So you have to make that and supply those other things as well. So in order to make those things, you have to have your breweries make these various chains. And that's going to require several different amounts of workforce in order to actually get these new goods up and running. So I kind of found that it wasn't really worth it. When I did this redesign of the city, I covered the space with, pretty efficiently anyway, all of these new houses and stuff, and I had supplied them stuff, but I found that I was running out of workforce because the demand for hot sauce and adelaide and schnapps is really high. So that you have to actually have a lot of buildings doing it. Now, I'm sure you can squeeze more out of these buildings if I put down a trade union and stuff like that, but it just doesn't really seem worth it. So, I think what I'm going to end up doing, eventually, we'll probably come back here, not immediately, I don't want to just destroy everything I built literally in the next episode, but I'm probably going to get rid of most of these houses because they're not very useful. So, I have a feeling that there's going to be a bit of a balance sweep and a bug fixing patch, either hopefully a patch, but at the very latest, I guess, alongside the next DLC, and things like that might be readdressed. Because the other issue is then, of course, the fertilizer that's being used out here isn't really working correctly, and then in the Seasons of Silver scenario, the goat pens are supposed to get irrigated and have double the output, but that's not working either, and people are telling me there's other bugs too, so I gotta say, there's a lot of bugs creeping up. I just didn't really notice it in my initial playthrough because all the buildings actually work as intended. It's just like the balancing the numbers in the back end aren't working as intended, so it wasn't as immediately obvious to me. With something like this, though, I think this is more just balance, not really a bug. It's a bit strangely balanced. It's like, okay, well, you're demanding a lot of workers just to get that extra amount of population, but the extra amount of population is going into the worker buildings, right? So it's like, what's the point of even having it? So it remains to be seen. I'm not really a min-maxer, as you know, but it seems like it'll be a little bit better to downsize this population back to kind of what it was and use the hacienda for its other benefits. It still has the other benefits of having the various farms and helping with various other production chains as well. And then there's a whole thing I want to do over here, which I won't get into now, but we can change. There's so much to do, is basically what I'm saying. I've been looking around the statistics screen. I realized that we've got way more cotton than we need. A lot of it's just been thrown overboard. Rum is largely made now in Cape Trelawney, so we don't even need this little mini factory here. So I was going to change this to be something else, maybe coffee, and make a secondary coffee roasting island. So there's a lot of work to be done, and it's going to be awesome doing it. I'm actually really looking forward to it. But just let's get the ball rolling. So over back in the New World, on the Island of Swords, we have this lovely patch of open terrain here, and I haven't really planned this out at all. We're just going to kind of wing it, but essentially what I want to do is build a bunch more investors and kind of lay them out here. We can reorganize them and fit them into the town a little bit better in future, but what I'd like to do now, at the very least, is grab a town hall. We'll put it in blueprint mode and stick it just around here, because it seems to fit there. I'll probably get rid of that road at some point as well. One thing I guess we can just start with doing now, though, is we have 2 vineyards here. that kind of feed off of this area. And there's like a little patio area here where they can kind of maybe sip on the produce that comes from these vineyards and things like that just outside the palace. It's a little bit nice. But I thought about changing it now. I'd rather get rid of this warehouse, maybe connect the road up to this warehouse instead, and, you know, build the farms around that way. So that way it's actually disconnected from the palace and the fence just blocks it. So that's the way I've decided to kind of reorganize and change that. So let's just do that first, seeing as it's sitting here right in front of me, essentially. And we get to save a warehouse by doing it. So I can get rid of this warehouse, move that one in place, and I suppose just cut away this for now, and then we can get a road going. Yeah, I'm just trying to think, where exactly do we want to put the actual vineyard, I guess. Somewhere around here, I guess. Get rid of these. Can dot these around in the future to make it look a bit prettier. Nice day for it. Alright. Just something like that, I guess. Alright, there we go. So, with something like this, we can just then remodulate both of these farms. And if we really need more grapes in the future, we could hook up the silos to this place as well. Now, aesthetically, I guess I just filled this in, so we'll just do that as well. Okay. Right, at least that's filled in. Maybe I need to turn off blueprint mode. I keep leaving it on. Just get that done. And then I'd like to put more of those trees around. I just think it helps break it up. I know it doesn't quite make sense within a vineyard, but I don't know. To me, it just makes things look a little bit nicer. So we'll just shave off a couple of modules here or there and add some of those orchard trees in, these apple trees. And there we go. So what are you at? 153 out of 28, 208 over 128. So they're obviously totally fine for the amount of modules and stuff. And there we go. So now the vineyard just kind of pushes up against this way. They can still be sipping on the produce, so the Bright Harvest posters are still there and the banners and everything. That's all cool. Maybe we could just add a few more trees there. All right, so it's just just a little bit of a shift around there. So new town hall is going to go here. This bridge kind of has to stay where it is to make sense for the kind of archway that we have. But other than that, the roads can change and the layouts can change. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to start... Oh, I actually can't upgrade them. Ah, well, there we go. First problem right in my face. We don't have enough light bulbs. I can't upgrade our engineers to get more of these investors without actually fixing that problem first. So let's track it down. Let's see what's going on. Light bulbs. So light bulbs have two different trade routes. They come from Lusk. Lusk is empty for light bulbs right now, so I'm sure the production is just basically not meeting the demand. So let's just check that out. So consumption, I suppose I'll go all island, seeing as it was traveling to the Cape anyway. And it says we're producing 19 and consuming 16. So that seems like it's correct. So there must be something else going on somewhere. Now I seem to remember we ran out of glass before. I have 900 right now. Did Captain Tobias just pass by? I'm guessing he did. He's trading right now. So he's after just making delivery of glass. So, it looks like we needed to take in 1,500, but we actually only took in 971. So our gramophone production is behind. So the problem, the problem persists. Alright, we'll keep tracking it down. If we fix the gramophone problem, then we can by proxy, fix the glass problem. There's nothing really I can do to speed up that glass issue now, so we'll just have to track down that gramophones. So let's see. Gramophones are made over here in two different buildings. I think what's happening is the gramophones are being traded in Docklands, and it's probably just trading a few too many of them. Yeah, because we're definitely producing enough, although for some reason one of the buildings is stalled. Both of those ones are running just fine. Okay, so I'm actually not even sure how I find that third building. Let's see. So which is the one that's stalled? There's oh, the bicycle factories are producing gramophones by proxy, and that's their current productivity. And then sewing machine factories as well. So I guess it's the extra item in here, right? He's helping produce these things. The bicycles are actually all full up, so we're not getting as many gramophones. Well, there's your issue. There's your issue. We're actually overproducing so much that we don't need... So yeah, that's really interesting. Okay, cool. So we're not producing enough gramophones because we're overproducing bicycles. So one thing you can do is just toss that stuff overboard, or, you know, bring it to a trader and sell it. Obviously, we don't need the money. That's an interesting little problem to have. I'm not really too sure what to do other than just, like, send it somewhere to be tossed overboard, which seems so not the right thing to do. But as I famously say, for now, I guess we could do that until I can figure out some place to actually direct them where they're needed. But if they're not needed, they're not needed, you know? Let me just have a look. What is the bicycle situation? 41 to 32. So at the end of the day, it's going to be backed up sometime, unless we just burn the amount they're producing. I suppose what you could do is wind back the productivity, but then you would get less gramophones out of it. But it would keep the constant flow moving. But yeah, I think I'm just going to have to set a ship to trade them elsewhere, I guess. Throw them overboard or something. So, this ship here, we're taking penny farthings over to, picking them for Lusk and dropping them. Well, that's interesting. There's actually not that many at Swords. There's only 35 in the Island of Swords right now. There's 3,000 basically in the Island of Lusk. There's 3 ships doing this. They've all got 50 penny farthings on them, and they're all heading up there now. Now, I don't think penny farthings ever runs out in Swords, but it's getting kind of close to that. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, well... I'm just gonna... I don't know... This seems wrong to me just on a fundamental level, but I can't really think of an immediate solution in my head right now. So I'm just gonna pick up some penny farthings at Lusk. Oh yeah. Okay, sorry. Sorry that I'm just working this out. I'm literally just thinking through it right now. What about this one? This doesn't have penny farthings on it. Why does that come up? Oh, because I have light bulb searched. Let me search penny farthings. Right, so there's only one trade route that deals with penny farthings. That's quite interesting. I guess we make them on the other island itself. And this is it. Alright, so what we could do here instead then is get rid of it completely, set up a trade route that just does penny farthings, and then throw them overboard if they can't unload. And that way the excess just falls into the ocean. It's only going to one place anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But we won't run out. We won't be cutting it so fine either. So penny farthings, just spam that like that, spam that like that. We'll keep this in the old world. Just gonna name it penny farthings because I'll probably come back to this, right, and change it. It's just a thing right now where it's like, look, if you ever can't unload that, throw it overboard. Anyway, this is a very, very terrible, long-winded way of saying, like, this should keep gramophone production up and running. Now, something else I've noticed is, yeah, pearls is running out, and then by proxy, jewelry is running out, but that's a different problem. Right now, we just want to focus on the light bulb issue, right? So we want to get light bulbs correctly going again, just so we can start upgrading our engineers, and then work on what we need. So that ship has just picked up its penny farthings. That's going to do its thing. I wonder, can I just purchase glass from someone or somewhere? Don't think so. Because it would be nice to just get some glass in just temporarily, just to keep the production running so that light bulbs don't run out. Captain Tobias is arriving right now. I don't have enough time, probably. Because you can pull in glass for something. Can we just exchange something really quickly? Like 300? Yeah, let's just do that. Again, another quick and dirty job here. Just going to get rid of the guns that are on this island that have just been accumulated over time. Alright. So, very lazy way of doing things. But, it should work. So, Captain Tobias is going to head up here. I'm going to tell this ship, the Jerboa, to just do a route where we're just going to pick up glass and drop it back at this island. That should keep things moving momentarily until the next Dockling's arrival. So load up on glass, wait to load. No, you don't need to wait to load. That won't work anyway. But yeah, just unload. And when this ship kind of runs out, then we can take it off this route. So this really is just a... I'll just call it temp. that ship is on its way now. It should get there after Captain Tobias. Is he still arriving? Oh, he's departing. Did he do his trade, I wonder? Crap, I didn't get to see. Hopefully we didn't miss it. Oh, I think we did miss it. Damn it. God damn. Alright, what about here? He's departing. What the hell's going on, man? I'm missing him like constantly on all these different things. The timers are all different. I'm just getting unlucky. What about here? Okay. He's arriving in 3 minutes. We could do it down here then. So there we go. Don't worry about the explosions. So I've got another idea. This is even more risky. Hop to this ship. We're going to quickly just manually get off that route. Manually come here, pick up the 85 advanced weapons, bring them down to the other place, and then trade advanced weapons for glass, bring that back down to less. This is all very manual, all very unorthodox, and in this time I'm after losing 5,000 population for some reason. So there's all sorts of problems. So I'm going to fix every one of these problems and have a perfect campaign. You wait and see. Right, give me those damn weapons. Now we just need to get down here before Captain Tobias, which I'm sure he'll be fine. Then in here, we can queue up advanced weapons. We'll list it as 85 because that's what we know it's going to be, and 1,028, or however much the capacity here is going to be. Glass should fill up. Then we can drop that glass over here, and that's good. Anyways, this is all taking so long that he's going to be here in like 13 minutes anyway, so I don't even know if I needed to do this. Are we about to run out of glass? It's probably soon enough. We're down to 600. Okay. Anyway, in that time, I'll just check that there's nothing else preventing light bulbs from being made. As long as light bulbs are still being made now. I can never remember where they are, actually. I guess I'll just have to have a look for the building. There they are. Okay. Light bulbs are over here. So we've got... Filament seems fine. Although I say that, it's actually less than glass, so maybe it's not. I'll have to just keep an eye and see which one runs out. Intermediate all islands. So filaments comes in through Docklands as well. Let's see, are we pulling in enough? 500. I mean, that's been consistent, so I'm guessing I've worked that out correctly. Hopefully. Alright, the weapons are on the way. I'm just going to speed up time. We're going to do one problem at a time, essentially, instead of jumping around too much. Try to sort out all these problems one by one. But the first problem hurdle in front of us is literally just getting our engineers upgraded into investors, and then we can kind of see the actual demands for different things. Alright, so the weapons are left here. The trade's going to happen now. Captain Tobias is arriving. Let's just get rid of this. Good. And there he is. So he's there. The exchange has probably just happened. We'll just go to intermediate glass, just like that. Boom. So we'll tell the... I should have done this. Tell the ship to go like that. Get rid of rush. Yes. Yep. Good. Alright, ship is doing its thing. It's going to try and pick up glass. It's full. It's going to bring it over to Lusk. Alright, so hopefully that kind of makes sense. Anyway, so that should just keep things moving until we run out. Just curious then, actually, yeah. Oh yeah, so glass is running out quicker than filaments because it's been used in other buildings, of course. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Anyway, so light bulbs are on the way. And that should slowly start getting better. I wonder, is there any, again, that I could pick up here? No one has... He doesn't have any light bulbs or anything to purchase. I wouldn't see why he would, but you never know. Just so you can quickly get a bit of an injection to keep you moving. Okay. So you could also pull in light bulbs last minute if you wanted to. How's the trade history of this? This has been consistent too. That's not very consistent. Although it's probably just because this is full, actually. So that's fine. Yeah, storage is full. That's good. Nice. Timber and stuff. Maybe this place could be used for something else instead of just bringing in timber. Again, maybe a bit of a temporary injection. Oh, I should have checked, actually, how much that was. Well, it doesn't really matter. We can just do this. So after that trade, I'm going to get rid of that. I'll just do even 100. 100 should be enough just to give us that little extra bonus. Alright, cool. Let's speed up time. Let's see if we can wait till Tobias gets here. 6 minutes. Okay, so let's have a look back at swords and see what's needed. The customer support base has completely collapsed. The tourism workforce, I should say. And they need cinnamon. And what's the problem here? What have they run out of? Bars have run out of something. They've run out of cinnamon. So cinnamon is something I'm going to have to work on, but I'm not going to do that immediately. We're going to get back to that a bit later. Again, don't want too many issues. So these guys have what they need now, finally. But they're going to need a constant supply of it in order to actually grow. So I'm just going to keep time moving. Let time speed up. And then we have the construction material. Once they get to 44, start upgrading big groups of them. Just until we fill up roughly this amount. So while I'm waiting for that, I can kind of lay it out anyway with the farmer residences. Just put them in blueprint mode. I was trying to think like, oh, is there something else I could add in and around this area that would be nice? Kind of struggling. I'm running out of ideas really in terms of what we could have. We've got this, and this has to be kind of built up and refined a bit more. So I'll definitely get to that. Because yeah, this area is just obviously looking a bit barren as it is. I can't move the bank, and I can't move the power supply, the generator, but everything else, I guess, could move, really. But I suppose at the very minimum, you could just do more built-up areas, so that bridge is going to get in the way of things, actually, so maybe we could do something like that. I don't even know why that bridge exists. I guess just for that little bit of cliff on the edge. Oh well, it is what it is. So maybe something like that. Yeah, so let's just cut this road here, and let's see where could these houses go that would look kind of nice. That could have a road going all the way around it, that one. And so could that. The road gets really weird in there, though. I don't mind a bit of irregularity. That's kind of actually what I'm looking for, so that we can put down certain things. So I think maybe just as a temporary measure, I guess, until I can figure out a nicer layout, we'll just go with something like this. So that's a decent amount of houses that we can add in as investors, and that's going to give us more influence, and we can use that as for town halls or trade unions or whatever it might be. Can we upgrade these houses? We can. So let's do it. And there we go. So let's just move these into position, and then we'll get the engineers back. It's going to take a little bit of time upgrading and moving these. Try to do it as quick as I can. Alright, so that new block is done. We're after getting a bunch more influence just straight away doing this. And of course, these could be built to be high rises if we wanted to, even just one tier up, or, you know, I don't want them to be massive because it might look a bit weird. And then we'll get the engineers back in, and then we'll have a look at how things like coffee are stacking up, and we can go back to the new world maybe. So let's keep upgrading. We'll just do another couple of blocks here, just till we fill up this area here. And then I might just start growing some artisans a bit more in a natural way, so we don't have to just move them all out of their positions. Up to 90 influence now. It's a nice way to get a bunch of influence. And then we can also see if we're going to be running out of... Oh, we're starting to run low on stuff. So yeah, they just run out of coffee. It's kind of interesting considering we did fix coffee in the last episode, but there you go. I guess we'll just work with this then for now. Yeah, and I'll just build a little market here. I've done this before. We'll just build a little market. Actually, don't even... Yeah, I guess I do need a market. Get a market going. Get some houses going. And these can be our, you know, replacement for the engineers that we just moved. Luckily, we don't need them right now. We've got plenty of workforce. They're just needed for the institute. Okay, so we'll just let them grow over time. We can then start to refill back up that area. I just realized. Let's just move these here.
Right here, I suppose.
Just make it a bit more central, and then we can have another group. Alrighty, really messy, super messy episode, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I could just feel judgmental eyes watching me. Alright. So let's see how the situation is with that ship that we had going back and forth. Is there anything left to get, any glass left to get out of that place? There's still 250, so they can make another journey. Let them do their final journey, and then we can also just go here and change this to not be there anymore. It doesn't really need to be there. Okay. Good. So, let's see. Another kind of blocker that we have is that coffee. So let's try and figure out what's wrong with coffee, because we should be producing enough. If we go all islands, so we just go straight up coffee. We have, you know, 72 is working right now, up to 75 production versus 68. So, again, coffee is done by specialty ships that kind of go around the world. Multi-regional specialty coffee. And they're carrying it from, let's just go through this. So the New World here, we have Porto Banús, they are kind of our hub island. Marbella now has 1,000 coffee in it. So maybe, I hope we're never throwing it overboard. We never should be. Anyway, coffee's precious. So anyway, coffee at Porto Banús, we drop it off at Marbella if we can, then at Lusk if we can, which is our hub island in the Old World. And then at Crown Farms, we pick it up. And then we make the journey back to Lusk, and then we repeat. So I see. So it's basically going to the New World, grabbing coffee, then it's going to Cape Trelawney, grabbing coffee, and coming back. So it's doing it's a bit weird, but I can see why I've done that. To give everything time to breathe and be made. So Lusk at the moment just doesn't really have any. So I wonder, is Cape Trelawney, for instance, filling up? It has 1,100 there. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's just filling up and not really getting taken away. And then in the New World, if we have a look in the hubs, there's a lot in Marbella, but obviously that doesn't really matter. That's just like a storage area, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm not really too sure then why it'd be running out. The only thing I can think of is that when we pick it up, when we drop it off at Lusk, and we pick it up at Crown... Yeah, I don't know. More ship... Do we need more ships? It seems a bit weird. This one's not even full. Yeah, I don't know what... I wonder... I feel like I must be missing something quite obvious with that then. Okay, let's have a look at the coffee route of how it goes from... Well, it's missing in Lusk, so it doesn't really matter about Lusk taking it to Swords. There's obviously something else wrong. And then I guess it's going elsewhere as well. That's coffee beans. Coffee goes to the Arctic. And I've definitely turned on all routes, yeah? All islands. Coffee 75 to 68. So we produce enough. It should get full up somewhere. So let's just see. Is it filling up at Cape Trelawney? And I can't remove it. The maximum storage here is 3,400 and it's only half full. Now it does have a minimum. No, but that shouldn't affect anything. Well, if you feel like you know, I must be missing something pretty obvious, I think. Let me know. But to me, that seems like... Oh, is that building offline? Oh, that was a rum distillery anyway. To me, it seems like it should be making it there. I don't really see anything glaringly obvious about why it wouldn't. Again, if we follow the Kenko, Dewey Egberts, and the Nespresso. Nespresso just dropped off about 300 coffee at Lusk. That's going to then get taken up to Swords. It's going to get taken elsewhere as well. The airships come in and just grab 50 at a time. That's okay. And then they distribute it to the Arctic. That makes sense. So that's the Arctic distribute. This is the Arctic to the Old World. The exchange. We're just picking up beans. Multi-regional. Lusk to Swords. And then we have a specific ship that deals with just picking up coffee. I feel like you should almost... This ship should wait to load. I don't think that would really change much, but... At least it would be sitting there until I reach 300, and then it would just go straight to the thing. I don't know. I'll just keep an eye on it. Maybe it's fine. Maybe some building. Maybe it's a lag effect from something else. But it seems like it should be fine. So we can do more upgrading. So let's just do that. And we're up to 108 influence now. From I think we had 20 before, so that's good. Oh, I just realized with this thing here. Can we actually get into that building? We can. Only barely. It's really weird, isn't it? The way that bridge is working itself out. I might have to... Yeah, I'll probably redesign the layout of this at some point. But really, it's getting the amount of buildings down is the more important thing right now. So yeah, I'll just do something like that. Something like that. At least they're connected. Alright, we still have a few more to go. And that'll obviously put more strain on things like coffee and stuff, but that should be okay. Up to 116 influence. They're workers now, ready to become artisans, hopefully, and then ready to become engineers and refill back up that place. And then the demand will really start. We'll start to really feel it. Okay, so seeing as we're running out of cinnamon, is there a way I can handle that? I wonder. So let's have a look. All islands, agriculture. Scroll down to cinnamon. And it looks like we've produced just under what we really need. Maybe we can find some space in the New World to get a little bit more out of it. So if I just have a look really quickly at the cinnamon route, we have our New World. Let's go to the New World. New World to Old World. So everything, all the cinnamon is dropped at Porto Banús, our kind of exchange island. There's 1,000 cinnamon just sitting in Marbella. So this just doesn't look like this is being very efficient. These ships are supposed to be carrying around cinnamon. They're all full up with 50. Again, might just be the case where I need to sort out some of these trade routes, right? It seemed efficient, right? To me, the idea of collecting agricultural products, dropping them at the deposit island, and then taking that to the new... Like, that seems like a reasonable thing to do to me. But maybe it's just not working out. Maybe we need another ship, you know? These all just stay in the New World, don't they? Oh no, these are New World to Old World. Excuse me. Yeah, not enough is being brought to... Well, first of all, we're not making enough anyway, so that's the real problem. It doesn't matter about the trade route. It is interesting, though, all the same, that this island has too much. So let's have a look. I can barely even remember where we see orchards. There it is there. So on the island, we have 2 cinnamon buildings on the island, and they're both there. This one's at 70% efficiency. So sitting there, it says 94. 94. But it's just full. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so we need to be picking that up. That's one problem, but we still need another building, actually. So let's just get the other building. We can make another one just even... somewhere like here. Want to get rid of all the timber and stuff because we can make that somewhere else. New World territory is just too valuable to be making logs and everything here. It's interesting though. Yeah, but we're going to have to set up a trade route for logs because we're actually running out. So I'm just going to take all log wood production off this island and we'll deliver them. There's big demand for it though because we've got a big rum distillery. But actually it feeds into what I was saying earlier. We don't need this rum distillery. We make enough rum back home, back in the old world. So maybe this is all just outdated. So let's just get rid of it. See how we can handle getting stuff like more cinnamon. Alright, so that's more cinnamon. Now, still have the problem, right? Because this place isn't able to get rid of its cinnamon. The ships that are basically going around these 3 islands are just full. So let's have a look again. See what I can do to correct this. So here we go. Just the New World only route, yeah? We have cotton, cinnamon, coconut oil, sugar. And then there's just a gap. So rather nicely, we could just And also, how are you doing for what you've carried? Can't be loaded as the storage is empty. Well, that's okay. Yeah, so I guess just try pick up more. Maybe that's just as a quick, nice solution. We're now carrying 100 per ship rather than 50 per ship. So that should fix things a bit. He says with a question mark at the end. Oh, hang on a second. Why are we picking it up again? Is there a demand for cinnamon? There shouldn't be a demand for cinnamon in the New World, right? And there is, though. Say I don't. I'll have to deal with him in a sec. Actually, I'll just do that before I forget. See, I can't even remember the chains here correctly. I think cinnamon's probably used in chemical plants or something like that, right? So let's see. I just need to find out where it needs to go, and then I can deliver it there properly. So, cinnamon. Production over time. I don't know how I check where the demand is. That's the production, but where's the demand? This is productivity, base productivity, and workforce. And then this is the demand. Alright, well, let me just check per island then. None there. There's some demand for cinnamon on Marbella, and that's it. So Marbella has a cinnamon demand. Sorry that I don't remember what it is. I'll have to just, I don't know. I don't know even how I'd ever check that. Like, if you don't know what the thing is demanding it, how do I... Okay, it's this. It's chewing gum. Okay. So that's why I guess I pick it back up again. That's really weird, though. That doesn't seem to... Oh, I guess there's probably a... Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. Oh my god, this is such a thinking episode where I'm just looking at all these little problems that are coming up. So, what I just tripped myself up with in my head was, I bet I set myself a limit to cinnamon here. But what does that matter? It's almost like what I'd want to do is say, in the New World, this is the limit, but if someone's coming from the Old World, there's no limit, you know? That's almost what you'd want to be able to do. So it's like, yeah, we're going to drop some off, we're going to pick some up, and always make sure these islands have a certain amount. But ultimately, what we really want to be able to do is say, like, the Old World is guaranteed to always get everything from here. So yeah, so the interesting thing then, I guess, would be the demand on this island is 4. We've just set up enough cinnamon now so that I don't even think I have to take it off this island. No, I do. Still have a little bit to go. So it's 4. The demand is 4 tons per minute. We make 9 tons per minute now. So it's more than we never need. So I think we're fine at taking... Yeah. So we'll set the limit here. The limit here is 200. That's perfect. It's plenty. We don't need to pick it up then at the other island. So don't ever pick it up here. And that should be okay. That's part of the problem. We're just always stacking it back on that island. I mean, it would naturally over time fill back up, but still, it doesn't really make sense to do it that way. So yeah, you just pick it up, you leave some in reserve. There's no point ever saying, leave some on this island. Why would you? It's not needed there. So that's just a mistake of mine. Me not thinking correctly. I'm guessing what I was thinking is, oh yeah, I'll set a limit, and that way I won't pick it up. But then foolishly I thought, well, the other ships will, as if you can do that, but you can't. So just get rid of this limit. Cinnamon's not used here. There's no chewing gum factories here, as far as I know. They're all on the other island. So there shouldn't really be a need for a limit. I just want to check that to be sure. Celluloid and ethanol. So yeah. Okay, cool. I know this is probably like really down in the weeds. I know some people passively watch this and stuff, I don't mind. But, you know, these next few episodes are probably going to be really me just fixing a lot of old problems. But I actually really like it. So it's nice when we're making progress. You know, we're fixing one problem that leads to another one. But, you know, I'll get it. So hopefully people don't mind that. I like feeling like fairly knowledgeable about the game, but seeing myself just make all these mistakes is like, oh, god damn. Alright, well, they've got everything they need, but that's temporary, I'm sure. But anyway, that should be a big knock-on effect to eventually deliver the cinnamon we need. So if we have a look at our statistics screen now, we go all islands, we scroll down to cinnamon, we can now see that we're overproducing it. So that should be okay. It's funny, actually, we're not overproducing citrus, so maybe we could just fix that, because that's also just going to be another problem, even though the demand said it's kind of fluctuating anyway. So let's see, citrus on this island is 0. What about on this one? Citrus on this island is 7. So let's just get another citrus building. Okay. And I'm just going to start powering down some of these to get some of our workers back. So 2 of those rum distilleries can go. Alright. Looking good. Alright. Productivity's back up. So we've solved a few little issues here. Namely the glass problem, right? So glass is going to keep getting made. We need to put back on the, bring in the wood. So let's get timber back in here. What was it? It was on like 5,000 before. Now I haven't worked this out in a while. I don't really know how much steel is going to be taken away from here. Also, is there no room for more depot storage? It feels like there should be. I'd like to store even more. Oh, there's plenty of room. So it's not going to look nice. It's not going to be pretty. But we're going to add more storage out this way. And this way we can pull in vast quantities of stuff like wood. Something like that. Okay, so the island can now go up to 3,850. So I'll be interested to see whatever we've got left in terms of steel reserve when this first trade happens, because we might not be able to fulfill it. It's probably like get rid of all the remaining steel, and then we'll trade wood. Although now we have a higher threshold to store more, and then we bring in that wood. We need it for some of the buildings here. Obviously, these bicycle factories need to make it, and they really need to make it, because we need that for producing... Oh, wow, we get advanced weapons here just passively? That's crazy. We must have a bunch. Oh, yeah, look, 2,800. Just passively building that up over time. I wonder what the productivity is for that. 21 tons per minute? How is it not full? I've never used them for anything. You think it'd be full by now? Like for, the last 50 hours that's been running? Have I ever used it? Unless, am I trading it? Maybe I am. Let's just close this down. No? Yeah, I wonder why it's not just full. Well, either way, we could actually ship that to another island, like another Docklands, right, on that other island, and just pull in some other good and trade it around the map, because this place is pretty full up right now. Storage full. What are the previous trades on this? They're all pretty consistent. Seeing those consistent numbers is good. It means that everything's, stable. But obviously we don't know about this one. So in 5 minutes we'll see. And if we don't have enough iron or steel to exchange it for, we've got excess gold. We could change it for that. We're basically full on gold, actually. So it probably should be gold, because we get a better rate, wouldn't we? Maybe we should do that. Spend the resources that we have rather than... Whoops, sorry. Spend the resources that we have, the more valuable ones, rather than spending steel or something. That's actually even used in other chains. So I'll get rid of this. We'll change this into gold. This gives us even way more. So yeah, we'll see. I'm sure that... We'll see. If it's the last thing going out... Actually, it's not. Let's change... Caoutchouc 550. Okay, just got to remember that. Caoutchouc 550. That should keep things consistent. Right, so then at the end of the chain, it's like, yeah, spend all the rest of the gold, pretty much, getting wood. And then there's going to be some left over then for, I guess, making jewelry. Do we make that here? We do have one building for it, but it's paused. Because I guess I bring in jewelry, don't I? don't know. Maybe we produce it with items. Again, it's one of these things. It's very hard to keep track of all this. Jewelry. Jewelry's there. It does have some production. Otherwise it wouldn't be there at all. But it says 0. So, I can't remember. There must be some item that does it, but I won't look into that now. That's a different problem for a different day. Alright, so can we upgrade these guys? What's your problem? You're missing a school. Oh. Sorry. Just speed up time. Once they get that, we can turn them into artisans, and then we can make them back into engineers. That should be pretty much it. Okay, so these have a university. Do these guys have a university? Even they do. Great. And once they get these goods, hopefully we can turn them back into engineers and then just put them back where they need to go. And just keep doing that until they fill up. Alright, nice. Excuse me, sorry for... ever since I got COVID, it's been weeks. I constantly have to clear my throat. And I never even had a cough, so I don't even know what the hell's going on with that. But, I guess I have, like, a mini form of, like, long COVID or whatever. Alright, we're going to raise that population back up now. So we've just increased the Iron Schlong's radius to cover all of these houses. They're going to go 10% higher than normal, than they otherwise would. Up to 55. And that's going to put a bit more strain on things. Let's have a look at the coffee consumption now. Actually, well, yeah, we don't have the engineers yet, but just out of curiosity, 75 to 66. Well, I think I might as well start laying the foundations for what I want to do over in the New World. Like I said, I think we can get rid of rum. So let's begin doing that. So I'm basically going to be demolishing this entire area here. Because I don't think we need it. So just to walk people through this thought process, if we have a look at Crown Farm, well, let's look globally. Globally, rum is at 134 tons per minute. It's not even all being produced right now because I think it just fills up in Cape Trelawney. In Crown Farms, it just fills up, and then we're selling it in Docklands for different things. So we are selling it for stuff. It probably has some use, and we're consuming 58 via the population. So let's then hop over to Crown Farms. Let's just check the Docklands, make sure this isn't some crazy important thing. We're bringing in some cigars. That's fine. Totally can manage that on our own. Oh, actually, sorry, we're bringing in a lot of things. So we're bringing in ore, all this stuff. And what's the rate been like? So it looks like 300, 400. This is just completely full anyway, so that doesn't even... I don't even know what that's doing. This doesn't see... So these two don't really seem to contribute anything. It is bringing in quite a lot of brass. And then it's bringing in the rest of quartz. So actually, maybe this is useful, but I'm going to just try... Because we're trying to optimize the New World, I just want to reduce the amount of rum that we make up there. We can do other things to increase it later. But we'll see if this has a horrible knock-on effect. It's kind of one of those ones that's really kind of hard to track. So say good night. Now, we've got another clay deposit, just like in the previous episode, that I was thinking of moving like all the way over here. I never found an answer to that. I don't think anyone answered me about whether or not... Oops. Whether or not you can move these back and get your movement point back, but I don't think you can actually. It's off by all the insane amount of oil deposits we have over there.
We're up to our eyebrow.
All right, let's get rid of the bricks. Let's even get rid of this. So we've got an orchard out here, a camphor wax orchard. Keep some of the things there for a little while. Let's get rid of the fire stations. We have a cigar factory that's out of wood. We have 2 chewing gum factories as well. Let's just move these. Veneers. Yeah. The veneer factories actually might be needed at some point. Although we have a marquetry workshop back in the old world, so instead of actually delivering wood here, we could just bring veneers, perhaps. But I'm probably going to set up just a wood delivery route that brings wood to many places, so let's just keep these alive. So we might need to use them. Alright. Then we've got a trade union. Oh yeah. So, need to bring a new ship here. Not a new one, but just any ship, just to carry some stuff. Because I think we have some items for coffee roasting. Because we're going to make way more coffee. And to be honest, we could sell the excess coffee in Docklands instead of the rum. And that would probably actually help. So, I think we might need to use the Research Institute. Item development. We'll go with coffee roaster. So productivity 40%. I think we have her already. Let's just start queuing it up anyway. And then all drinks production 50%. Let's just get one of those. We have the coffee sommelier over there already.
More than knowledge. It takes
Alright, it's going to take 32 minutes, so we won't see that for another couple of episodes, I guess. Alright, so just while we're here, let's just correct the size of this farm. Be interesting if we add on the silos to it eventually. Okay, so we've trimmed the space just a little bit with that. Let's do something like this then. I guess I'll leave that. Okay. Right, so the idea now would be with a hacienda, I think we can get coffee bean farms and then start coffee roasting here with quite considerable amount of population. And with the cafe sommelier lady, we change it from obreros to jornaleros. So what we're gonna do is start demolishing some of these buildings, these beautiful buildings we built. We don't need the level 4 or the size 4 obreros anymore. And we could just, I guess, temporarily put back down regular households that will grow. Right, so you can go over to the items and pick up this. Workforce needed -30. You can pick up the coffee sommelier, and then we'll get one of those new items to help other things. Do we need anything else? Cigar factory? Nah. Yeah, I think that's all we need. Timber directly instead of wood veneer is tempting. Anyway, let's go with this. So the idea of all this is just to kind of consolidate down. Like, we have a lot of rum already, so maybe we can just change the production to be a bit more convenient here rather than trying to make rum. The interesting thing though then will be we'll have just all this sugarcane that we don't even need. So again, this could all be changed again to be coffee or something else, just to all support a different type of industry. So it's a bit of a gamble, but I'm kind of curious to see how it'll pay off. Don't know where we're gonna move that orchard, that camphor wax orchard. Again, more space for orchards though, I guess also. There we go. Okay, 184 is what we're up to at the moment. So let's get rid of some of these guys. Sorry guys, worked very hard on building all of that, but it just does not seem like it makes any sense. And then we can have a look at how much hot sauce we're producing. 3 tons. So we can get rid of a couple of these buildings. Now we're making still a little bit more than we need. We have 3 of them, so we can get rid of 1. And then, instead of this, put down a regular road, and this will be changed, you know, once the population kind of comes of age, as it were. We can then change it again to be, really make this place look nice. I haven't made an actual nice looking place in a while. I'm just playing the game badly, but as I try to correct my economy. It's all in service to being able to make it look nice soon. Getting close to that 100,000 mark. I like to see the thing not fluctuating too much, which is nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's happy. He's like, yeah, thanks for getting rid of those fancy looking, really nice looking houses, but ultimately just really hard to justify houses. Alright. So the hacienda then could also have its farm be pushed up a bit further back, which is the plan. Push this further back. Build the coffee farm, yeah, coffee bean places over there. I suppose we could start doing that now. The thing is here. So let's see if we can just cram this in towards the end of the episode. So let's get rid of all these houses then. Let's get rid of all this modular space. And we don't need any of that. We don't need any of that. So that's all gone. We don't need spices here either. It's all gone. Don't even think we need the corn. I was using that to make schnapps, so... Saved on all of that. And that was the whole point. It's like, oh yeah, we get a little bit of extra population, but we have to build so much population that have to work things. So it's like, this isn't making sense. And like I said, I built the whole town that way, where there was almost no ordinary houses anymore. And I was like, I've got like less population than I had before. I couldn't make it work. I think with a trade union and squeezing like a lot out of maybe the Adelaide and the spices and the whatever the breweries are, maybe then you could justify it a bit more. I didn't try that. So yeah, so hacienda can be up here. We can make a nice looking hacienda as well. We can build a nice kind of wall around it, have like several farms and stuff. That could look kind of cool. Let's just move these temporarily. That's so much money, isn't it? 10,000 each time. And it was just instantly filled back up. Right. Also, you can't have the banana farms. No, I don't think so. Plantations. Let's just try one of these. No, so they kind of have to do their own thing. Okay. So that's pretty much back to where we were. I said I wasn't going to do it all in the same episode, but I guess I have. But yeah, now we can actually build the coffee roasters stuff. We can get rid of these. So that's the champagne distilleries and rum distilleries. We can put you in. We can put you in. We're waiting on the other item in the thing. So here at the Hacienda Farm, we'll go with coffee. Boom. And at the other place where we've got too many beans, we could probably bring the excess beans over here as well. Just for the various roasters. Just trying to think what would be... Well, I'll probably get to that actually in some other day. I mean, making the place look nice, but... Let's just make it work right now. So something like that. Gets the silo in there as well, maybe. And we could do that a few times. Alright, so they've got silos. We don't have any fertilizer here, but eventually we will. So we don't need it immediately, but it's good to know how big the farms are going to have to be. Also, I saw some people in the comments tell me like, oh, you don't have to put things within this ring. Yes, you do, don't you? Definitely do. People were saying like the Hacienda households you don't have to. Let's see. Yeah. That's what someone commented. They were like, you don't have to put the houses. I mean, I guess technically you don't. They don't fall apart. But you don't get a hacienda at 100% then, the first thing. So, it's still kind of... Oh, well, maybe. Hang on. Maybe he's right. Oh my god. But it says outside hacienda range. Is this just... Is that bugged? Is this bugged as well? No. Okay, so he did fall apart. Yeah, I was really confused by that comment because they were like, "Oh, it's only the farms that have to go inside," and I was like, "I don't think so." Like, really? Okay, glad I'm not crazy. I would have been really annoyed about that because that's how I reviewed it. I was like, "Oh, this is how it works." I would have been totally wrong. Right, so this doesn't actually have to connect to anything. There's no road is needed whatsoever if we don't plan on building houses. And this is for the roasters specifically. Okay. So let's just start by doing... It's 90. Go 96. And there we go, little coffee farm on the go. So now we're producing how much? 20 tons per minute of coffee beans. And that's without the fertilizer. So they should be able to make even more when they get that. And then we're going to need the actual coffee roasters to refine it. That's going to be 150 obreros. But with this, we should be able to cut that down by 30% and also then cut it down by a further 50% and change it so it's at jornaleros. So just put one right here. And we can see it's only 30. So it's actually the exact same as a brewery was for the Hacienda farms. Once we're within that range. So I'll probably move that guy eventually or move this somewhere else, but this will be totally fine here. And I'll reorganize this because what I want to do is use the really nice ornaments that you get with haciendas and make this place look like it's a hacienda coffee house, I guess, in a way. But we are ignoring a lot. We're only using the farms. We're not using the brewery. We don't need the fertilizer works. Maybe in future we could use that, and we don't need the residences. So we'll see how that goes. The storeroom actually might come in handy, maybe. So let's see. What's the coffee situation then, or the... Yep, so that's up to 16, so we can actually have another one, and we've got the workforce just about to justify it. These guys are just about full up. Oh, sorry, I never give these guys a road. There we go. And just like that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more coffee roasters on the production line. What was it saying? It said 75, I think, before. If we go all and we go to down here, we're now up to 93. So coffee is sorted long term. And that excess, I think, will sell in a Docklands somewhere. That seems to make sense to me. But we should connect it up to the network, because I don't know if... The trade network, that is. We're dropping coffee here. To be honest, we don't even need to do that anymore. We just need to pick some up. So if we go... There's actually none, just select for the New World. It must be here, yeah. So Puerto Banús, we actually drop it in here, and then we'll just say pick it all back up again, I guess. That's fine, right? Yep. And then off to Lusk. So we might end up needing more ships on this, because they're just going to be so full. There's so much volume coming out of this place when they return back to Lusk. Actually, you know what? Really, what they probably need to do is I get some other ships just to take it from Marbella to Puerto Banús, and these ships can just go to Puerto Banús and pick it up. And that would cut out a lot of time. So just go there and then go back to that. Yeah, so something like that's probably better. So that just means that in the New World itself...
An explosion in one of your factories.
In the New World itself, I need some sort of pickup from here to there. And I wonder, is there any other ship that could just do that? The volume of coffee, though, you know, be 20 per minute. Seems like one ship dedicated to doing it is probably good. So let's just make a ship tell it to do it. Ah, we don't have any ships available right now. I have that temporary route I can get rid of, right? Yep. We've got lots of new influence now, so we can get more ships and stuff, so that's not a big deal. So at Marbella, pick up coffee. 6. Drop it there. Alright, so that's a ship dedicated to just taking coffee from here and bringing it to there. So Porto Banús, I don't know if I ever did it, but this place needs a bigger storage amount. It has 850 now. Now I added a hacienda here. Another aspect of this is I think I can get rid of all that cotton, which is crazy. So I added a hacienda here. Maybe we could add some of those storerooms then. Even just here next to the oil, perhaps. Can maybe move that oil just slightly.
I love the fire service. They help me a lot.
The fire
So that adds
has been vanquished.
more storage. Again, going to reorganize, I promise. Going to make things look nice, but we need to get the production chain sorted first. Then we can do that. Now, where are these fires? That was 30 minutes ago, that's fine. Actually, buy this back even further. Alright, I think that's going to have to be it for this episode, you know. We're up to 98,000, nearly 99. We could do the final upgrade here, actually, just at the end here. So there's the engineer's back. That's going to give us now a much more accurate representation of what our consumption rates are going to be. So there we go. So basically, in this episode, we've just added all of that extra housing. We've sorted some of the production chains that prevented us from even doing that in the first place. I'm going to commission the building of a few more ships now, because we're going to need them. Let's just get 6 more. Actually, we can get 10 more, so that's 30 influence in total, right? And if we don't need them, we can just retire them or whatever. And then I guess in between episodes, I'll just pay attention to Docklands and see, like, is everything kind of working? Cinnamon seems to be fixed, right? That seemed to be fine. The last thing I wanted to check was, yeah, so we're spending 94 gold in order to get... That's crazy. 94 gold gives you 3,850 wood. So we need a ship that's going to take wood all the way around this place. So that's what we're going to do in the next one, is just start... Again, just making sure that we're not running out of stuff. I'll have to check on this. Cinnamon is still has a bit of a delay getting here. But I'll just check it right now. Cinnamon. Because it should be coming in. There's actually 470 sitting in the island of Lusk, so that works. But why is it not coming up? I have no idea. It's all messed up as well, actually. So yeah, I'll check on that actually in between episodes. Now we got to correct some of these routes. There's so much to do. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. These episodes are probably a little bit tedious. I don't know. Maybe it's just me in my own head here, but it's so granular. There's so many little moving parts to everything. And I feel like it's probably hard for people watching to even like follow along, because it's just like all these little things that I'm even forgetting like where they are, right? So how difficult must it be for you guys to remember all the different little bits and pieces? So in between episodes, I'm just going to move these houses, look at some of the trade routes, and maybe form a bit more of a plan for the next one. So thanks very much for watching. I'll have also continued episodes with the Seasons of Silver alternating with this series as well. So check that out. Although that's also going quite poorly because I didn't know how to play it, I guess. But that's really good fun, and I'll probably just keep going and redo it over until we get it right and get the gold. All right, thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate all the support. It's really been awesome coming back to more and more Anno kind of coming out a bit more regularly, and it's been doing really well, so thank you. That's going to be it for me. I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support this series directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. If you don't see the join button, it means the video has been copyright claimed, but you can still join from the channel page on desktop. You can also link your account to our Discord to get a special role on there that will give you access to the Senate House and a few other perks.